Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico is a United States Commonwealth. People do want to say territory. Now, is Guam, what is Guam? Guam is a United States territory. Thank you. And Puerto Rico is a United States Commonwealth, like CNMI. And that is the Northern Marianas Islands, which is also part of this chain of islands that we're in right now. But it's a different entity because it's a Commonwealth of the United States, whereas Guam is a territory. So this is a good time to figure out what is a U.S. territory. Well, we know a territory is a possession, and that we don't vote for the president here of the United States. We vote for the governor of Guam. Okay, a Commonwealth, they will vote for the president of the mainland. So they vote, and they're represented in Congress. And so that is a very big difference from that of a territory. So actually a Commonwealth is one step closer to being a state because it's on the way to closer to being statehood. There's a lot of support from the United States, and so many, many people would be supported with food stamps and with just lots of money poured into Puerto Rico. And they do have the ability to vote, and yet it might sound very good for the people, but actually it's not very good because and I see a lot of you shaking your heads and understanding this, because there's really no incentive to develop the economy. And many people there will actually complain that they're not allowed and don't have the opportunity to develop independence and develop their own economy and their diversity of economy. Because as we know, diversity of economy is going to make it very much easier to survive on your own. You know, when things happen, then you always have another part of the economy to pick up for you. So being dependent is not necessarily that great a thing, and actually the unemployment there is well over 15%. It has been as high as 50% in the past. So not as sweet as it might sound to get all of that help. Okay, so that's Puerto Rico, and so the Greater Antilles and these are the Greater Antilles, these are the Lesser Antilles, made up of just thousands of smaller islands and island chains. Now again, we have the Windward Islands and we have the Leeward Islands. So the Windward Islands are the islands that would be in the path of Hurricane Alley. So they would be right on the windward side, right here. They could get hit by the winds which go in this direction towards the north and towards the west. From the southeast to the northwest, and that's the direction. We all know about Katrina that hit New Orleans here, unfortunately. I was in Mississippi at the time, so it did go right over me, and Katrina was big and bad, I can tell you that. It spawned many, many tornadoes too, which aren't very fun. I spent the day going into the closet because that's all I had. There was no basement. It's interesting in Mississippi too, because every time there's an alert, you hear people coming around in these little cars with little sirens on them and bullhorns, and you wonder, why aren't they hiding somewhere? Because they're saying, run, pretty much. That means there's a tornado coming or something very quickly. Okay, so Windward, Leeward. And then here in Guam, we know, here in Manila, Guam, we know we're on the windward side of this island, and we have the leeward side is Tumon, and that is where the tourists, the beaches, it's a lot calmer, it's like bathwater. Always on the winter side, it's a little bit wilder and rougher, and you really got to watch. You don't want to fall off the reef, right? And so the windward side is just takes the brunt, you know, of the weather. Now, we like to bring up Trinidad and Tobago as an example of a small island economy, small island state and small island economy that has come up with a very strong economy on their own, independently. So what they've done is they've used trade. They're in an excellent position to trade right here off the coast of South America. They're also close to the United States. Of course, they're close to the rest of the Caribbean. And so they've done very well for themselves. A beautiful port, very colorful, and lots of action. So some of the small island states have done very well, but after colonization, a lot of them have become very dependent upon the colonial powers that first settled them. Okay. I think we didn't talk about Jamaica yet. That's another one of the Greater Antilles. And Jamaica, as you know, what famous, he's not a rapper, he's a reggae singer.
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley. Yeah, people here like Bob Marley a lot. I think everybody at Hannah Islands really likes Bob Marley. And I've been listening to Bob Marley for a long time too. So Jamaica is a beautiful island. It's got a lot of tourism, but it also has that inequality that present. They speak English there because it was settled by the UK, by the British. And so now English is spoken, but it's mostly African and has a very excellent culture and very colorful with great music, great food, like many of the places in the Caribbean. So lots of tourism, but let's remember there's also that issue with inequality where there's lots of wealth involved with the tourism industry mainly. And then there's a lot of poverty too that the local people experience. All right, well, that is wrapping up our last of the subregions. Thank you.